I came home to find my mother rifling through my desk drawer, the woman who abandoned me 23 years ago, standing in my apartment like she owned the place. But that wasn't what made my blood run cold. It was the USB drive in her hand, and the way her eyes went wide when she saw me standing in the doorway. Before we continue, please comment below, as I'd love to hear your thoughts, and subscribe to the channel to help us hit that big 1,000 subscriber milestone. Let me take you back to where this nightmare actually started. 3 weeks before that moment, I was at my desk at work when my phone buzzed. Unknown number. I almost didn't answer, but something told me to pick up. "Naomi? Baby? It's your mama." The voice hit me like a freight train. I hadn't heard it since I was 17 years old. Since the day she packed 2 suitcases and told my father she'd found someone better, someone with money, someone who could give her the life she deserved. She didn't even say goodbye to me. "I don't have a mama," I said. My hand was shaking. "I have a father, Raymond Williams, the man who actually raised me." "Don't be like that, baby. I know I made mistakes, but I've been thinking about you, missing you. I want to make things right." 23 years of silence. And now she wanted to make things right. I should have hung up, but curiosity is a dangerous thing. "How did you even get this number?" "I have my ways, baby. Look, I'm in town for a few days. Can we meet, just for coffee? I want to see the woman you've become." Every instinct screamed at me to say no, but there was this small voice in the back of my head. The voice of that 17-year-old girl who watched her mother walk out the door, the girl who wondered for years what she'd done wrong. If she'd been good enough, maybe her mama would have stayed. "Fine. 1 coffee. That's it." We met at a cafe downtown 2 days later. I got there early. Watched her walk in through the window. She looked older, tired. The sparkle that used to light up her eyes was gone. She was wearing designer clothes, but they looked worn, like she'd been wearing them too long. She spotted me and smiled. That same smile I remembered from childhood. The one that used to make everything feel okay. "Naomi, baby, look at you." She reached for a hug. I stepped back, kept my arms at my sides. Her smile faltered. Just for a second. Then it was back, bright and fake. "You look good, baby. Real good. I heard you're doing well for yourself. Data analyst, right? At one of them big tech firms?" "How did you hear that?" "Oh, you know, people talk. Your daddy still lives in the old neighborhood. I asked around." The hair on the back of my neck stood up. She'd been asking around about me, about my life, about my job. "Why are you really here?" I asked. She laughed, waved her hand like I was being silly. "Can't a mother want to reconnect with her daughter?" "You haven't been a mother to me since I was 17. Her face hardened, just for a moment. Then the smile was back. "I know, baby. And I'm sorry. I was young. I made bad choices. But I've grown, changed. And I want to be part of your life again." Something about the way she said it felt rehearsed, like she'd practiced this speech in the mirror. But I wanted to believe her. God help me, I wanted to believe that maybe she'd actually missed me, that maybe she'd realized what she'd given up. "Okay," I said. "We can try. Slowly." Her eyes lit up. "That's wonderful, baby. Really wonderful. And actually, there's someone I want you to meet." That's when I saw him, a young man standing near the entrance, early 20s, tall, wearing expensive sneakers and a designer hoodie. "This is Malik, your brother." The words didn't make sense at first. "Brother?" "Half-brother," she corrected. "From my second marriage. He's in college now, studying business at State." Malik walked over, looked me up and down like he was sizing me up, didn't smile, didn't offer a handshake. "Sup," he said. That was it. That was the greeting. "Malik's real smart," Denise said. "Got a scholarship and everything. But you know how expensive college is these days. Even with the scholarship, it's a struggle. And there it was, the real reason for the reunion. I could feel it coming like a storm on the horizon. "We're managing," she continued. "But it's tight, you know? And I thought, since we're family again, maybe you could help out a little. Nothing major, just a little something to ease the burden." I stared at her, at this woman who'd walked out of my life without a backward glance, who'd missed my high school graduation, my college graduation, every birthday, every achievement, every moment that mattered, and now she wanted money. "How much?" I asked. "Well, if you could spare maybe $5,000 a month." "$5,000?" I almost choked. $5,000 a month? "I know it sounds like a lot, baby, but you're doing so well. And family helps family, right? That's what we do." Family helps family. The words were bitter on my tongue. Where was family when I was working 3 jobs to pay for community college? Where was family when my father had his heart attack and I spent every night at the hospital terrified I'd lose the only parent who'd ever loved me? But what I said was worse than what I'd feared. "Let me think about it," I heard myself say. Denise's face broke into a huge smile. "Of course, baby. Take your time, but don't take too long, okay? Malik's tuition is due next month." I left that cafe feeling sick to my stomach. I drove straight to my father's house. Daddy was in the backyard, working on his old Chevy. He'd had that car since before I was born, refused to get rid of it no matter how many times it broke down. "Hey, baby girl," he said when he saw me. Then he looked at my face. "What's wrong?" I told him everything, about the phone call, the meeting, Denise, Malik, the money. His face got darker with every word. By the time I finished, his jaw was clenched so tight I could see the muscle jumping. "That woman," he said slowly, "has some nerve." "I know, but Daddy, what if she really has changed? What if she really wants to be in my life again?" He put down his wrench, wiped his hands on a rag, looked at me with those wise eyes that had seen me through every heartbreak and triumph. "Naomi, baby girl, let me tell you something. People don't change that much, not in their core. Your mama left because she wanted an easier life, a richer life. Now she's back, and what's the first thing she asks for? Money. That tell you anything? But I'm not saying don't give her a chance. That's your choice to make. I'm just saying keep your eyes open. Protect yourself. Because that woman broke your heart once. I won't stand by and watch her do it again." I hugged him, held on tight. "I love you, Daddy." "I love you too, baby girl. More than anything in this world." But that wasn't even the worst part. That came 3 days later. I was having dinner with my best friend Rochelle at our favorite soul food spot. We'd been friends since college. She knew everything about me, including my complicated history with my mother. "Girl, tell me you're not seriously considering giving that woman money," Rochelle said, pointing her fork at me. "I don't know, Ro. Maybe nothing. She abandoned you. For 23 years. And now she wants $5,000 a month? That's $60,000 a year, Naomi. 60,000. I know the math. Do you? Because it sounds like you're letting guilt make your decisions." My phone buzzed. Text message from Denise. "Hey, baby. Was wondering if we could stop by your place tomorrow? Want to see where you live? Maybe have lunch? Malik would love to see it too." My stomach dropped. I'd never told her where I lived. "How does she know where I live?" I said out loud. Rochelle leaned over to look at my phone. "You never told her?" "No, never." We looked at each other. The same thought hit us both at once. "She's been digging," Rochelle said. "Looking into your life, your job, your address." "But why?" "Girl, why do you think? She's sizing up how much she can get from you." I wanted to disagree. Wanted to believe my mother wasn't that calculating. But the evidence was right there. She knew things I'd never told her. Things she shouldn't know. I texted back. "How did you get my address?" 3 dots appeared, disappeared, appeared again. Your daddy mentioned the neighborhood once. I figured out the rest. Why? Is that a problem? My father would never. He didn't even speak to Denise. Hadn't for over 20 years. She was lying. I put my phone down, looked at Rochelle. I think I need to talk to a lawyer. Finally, some sense. But I didn't move fast enough. Didn't trust my instincts quickly enough. Because 2 days later, I gave Denise my spare key. She'd called crying. Said her car broke down near my neighborhood. Said she just needed a place to rest for an hour while she waited for the tow truck. Said Malik was with her and it was so hot outside. I was at work, couldn't leave, so I told her where the spare key was hidden, under the fake rock by the front door. Just lock up when you leave, I said. Put the key back. Of course, baby. Thank you so much. You're a lifesaver. I hung up and tried to focus on work, tried to ignore the nagging feeling in my gut, the feeling that I'd just made a huge mistake. At 5 o'clock, I packed up, headed home. The whole drive, something felt wrong. Like the air before a tornado. Heavy, charged, dangerous. I pulled into my parking spot, walked up to my apartment. The spare key was back under the rock. The door was locked. Everything looked normal. But when I opened the door, I knew. I knew immediately that something was wrong. My desk drawer was half open. Papers were slightly out of place. My laptop was moved. Just an inch. But it was moved. They'd been going through my things. I walked slowly to my desk, opened the drawer all the way. My files were disturbed. Bank statements I'd printed last month. Investment reports. Everything that showed how much money I had. That's when I heard it. A sound from my bedroom. Soft, like someone trying to be quiet. My heart stopped. Someone was still here. I grabbed my phone, started to dial 911, then stopped. What if I was wrong? What if it was nothing? I crept toward the bedroom. The door was cracked open. I could see movement through the gap. A shadow. 2 shadows. I pushed the door open. Denise and Malik were standing at my dresser. Her hand was in my jewelry box. His hand was on my laptop, the one I kept in my bedroom. They both froze when they saw me. For 3 long seconds. Nobody moved. Nobody spoke. Then Denise smiled, that bright, fake smile. Naomi, baby, you're home early. We were just... Get out. The smile vanished. Now, baby, let me explain. Get out. Malik finally looked up, met my eyes, and in that moment, I saw it. No shame, no guilt, just irritation. Like I was the one inconveniencing him. We're family, Denise said. Her voice had changed. Harder now, the mask slipping. Family helps family. You have all this money and we're struggling. What kind of daughter? The kind whose mother abandoned her, I said. My voice was shaking. The kind who built everything from nothing. The kind who owes you absolutely nothing. After everything I did for you, you did nothing for me. The words exploded out. You left when I was 17. Daddy raised me. Daddy paid for everything, Toe. Daddy was there for every moment that mattered. You don't get to come back now and pretend you're my mother. Denise's face twisted. All pretense gone. You think you're so special? So successful? We'll see how special you feel when everyone knows what kind of selfish daughter you are. Get out of my house. Now. Before I call the police. She grabbed Malik's arm, pulled him toward the door. You'll regret this, she hissed. We were going to ask nicely, but you just made a big mistake. They left, slammed the door behind them. I stood there shaking. Then I walked to my dresser. My laptop was open. The screen was still lit. They'd been trying to access my banking apps, and that's when I saw it. Plugged into the USB port, a small flash drive. They'd been so panicked when I caught them, they'd forgotten to take it with them. I pulled it out, stared at it. My hands were still shaking. What had they put on my computer? What had they taken? I opened my laptop, started checking my files, my accounts, everything. That's when I saw it. An email, sent from my father's email address, to me, 2 weeks ago. An email I'd never received, never seen. The subject line read, Naomi's financial information. They'd hacked my father's email, sent themselves everything, bank statements, investment reports, tax returns, everything I'd ever shared with my father about my finances. This wasn't a reunion. This was a raid, and they'd been planning it for weeks. I sat on my bed staring at that flash drive until midnight, my mind racing, my hands still shaking. They'd hacked my father's email, stolen my financial information, gone through my entire apartment. And for what? To figure out exactly how much they could take from me? But I had no idea how deep it actually went. I called Rochelle first. She answered on the second ring. Girl, it's midnight. This better be... They were in my apartment, going through my things. They hacked my father's email. Silence. Then, I'm coming over. She was there in 20 minutes. I showed her everything. The flash drive, the email, the forwarded documents. All my financial information sent to an email address I didn't recognize. Rochelle's face got harder with each piece of evidence. You need to call the police. And tell them what? My estranged mother was in my apartment with permission? That I found a flash drive but don't know what's on it? So let's find out what's on it. I'd been afraid to look, afraid of what I might find. But Rochelle was right. I needed to know. I plugged the flash drive into my laptop, opened the files, keylogger software, screen capture programs, password harvesting tools. They hadn't just been looking at my files, they'd been installing spyware, trying to capture my passwords, get access to my actual accounts. Oh, hell no, Rochelle said. This is beyond family drama. This is cybercrime. My phone buzzed. Text message. From Denise. We need to talk. What you said tonight was hurtful. But I forgive you. Let's meet tomorrow and work this out like family. I showed Rochelle. She grabbed my phone. Don't respond. Don't engage. She's trying to manipulate you into giving her another chance, another opportunity. But what if nothing? She hacked your father's email, installed spyware on your computer. She's not here for a reunion, Naomi. She's here for a robbery. The words hit me like cold water. A robbery. That's exactly what this was. I called my father, woke him up, told him everything. I'm coming over, he said immediately. Daddy, it's midnight. I'm coming over. He arrived 30 minutes later, still in his pajamas, threw a jacket over them. I'd never seen him look so angry. Show me, he said. I showed him the email, sent from his account. He stared at it, his jaw working. I never sent this. I know, Daddy. She got into my email. That woman got into my personal email and stole information about my daughter. He pulled out his phone, started changing passwords right there. Email, bank accounts, everything. We're going to the police tomorrow, he said. First thing, this is identity theft, computer fraud. Breaking and entering. But I let them in. You let them in to rest, not to steal from you, not to hack your computer. He looked at me. Really looked at me. Baby girl, I know you wanted to believe she'd changed, that she really wanted you back in her life. But some people don't change. They just get better at hiding what they are. Rochelle stayed the night, slept on my couch, said she wasn't leaving me alone. I didn't sleep, kept checking my bank accounts, making sure nothing had been moved, nothing had been stolen. Everything looked normal, for now. The next morning, I called in sick to work, first time in 2 years. Then I called a lawyer, a family law attorney my colleague Veronica had recommended once, Vincent Howard. His office was downtown. He could see me that afternoon. Daddy drove me. refused to let me go alone. Vincent's office was neat, professional, walls covered in law degrees and certifications. He was maybe 50, gray at the temples, kind eyes, but sharp. You could tell he didn't miss much. I laid out everything. The abandoned childhood, the sudden reunion, the money demand, the spare key, finding them in my apartment, the hacked email, the spyware. Vincent took notes, asked questions. His expression never changed. Professional. Calm. When I finished, he leaned back in his chair. Ms. Williams, what you're describing is several crimes: computer fraud, identity theft, attempted theft, possibly conspiracy if they planned this together. What can I do? First, we file a police report. Today, document everything. Second, we get a restraining order. Keep them away from you physically. Third, we send a cease and desist letter. Make it clear that any further contact will result in legal action. How long will that take? The police report we can do today. The restraining order I can file for emergency protection. We might have it by tomorrow. The cease and desist I'll draft today and send certified mail. Relief flooded through me. Someone was taking this seriously. Someone had a plan. There's something else you should know, Vincent said. If they installed spyware on your computer, they might have already accessed your accounts. Even if you don't see anything missing yet, I'd recommend freezing your credit, changing every password, enabling two-factor authentication on everything. My stomach dropped. You think they already stole money? I think they tried. Whether they succeeded, we'll need to check carefully. We went to the police station from Vincent's office, filed a report. The detective who took my statement was a black woman, maybe 10 years older than me. Detective Harris. She listened to everything, looked at the evidence on my laptop. This is definitely criminal, she said. The spyware alone is enough to press charges. The hacked email adds identity theft. Give me a few days to investigate and we'll see what else we can add. What about a restraining order? Your lawyer can file for that. With this evidence, you'll get it. These people are dangerous, Ms. Williams. They're not just after money. They're after everything. But the worst part wasn't learning they were criminals. The worst part came that evening. I was back at my apartment. Daddy had gone home. Rochelle was at work. Vincent was filing the restraining order paperwork. I was going through my bank statements, line by line, making sure nothing was wrong. That's when I saw it. A pending transfer from my savings account, initiated that morning, while I was at the lawyer's office. $10,000, being wired to an account I didn't recognize. My hands started shaking again. They'd gotten in. Somehow, despite changing my passwords, despite everything, they'd gotten into my account. I called the bank. Fraud department. Waited on hold for 15 minutes that felt like 15 hours. Ms. Williams, yes, I see the transfer. It was initiated using your login credentials and approved with your security code. I didn't authorize that transfer. I understand. Let me flag this as fraudulent. We can stop the transfer, but I need to verify some information first. She asked security questions. I answered them all. She put me on hold again. When she came back, her voice had changed. Ms. Williams, I'm showing that your email address on file was recently changed. 3 days ago. 3 days ago? The day I gave Denise my spare key. Changed to what? She read me an email address I'd never seen before. They hadn't just installed spyware. They'd changed my contact information with my bank, rerouted my alerts, made it so I wouldn't see the theft until it was too late. We're stopping the transfer now, and I'm flagging your account for fraud. You'll need to come in tomorrow morning to sign some paperwork and reset everything. I hung up, sat in silence, stared at my computer screen. $10,000. They'd tried to steal $10,000. My phone rang. Unknown number. I almost didn't answer, but something made me pick up. Naomi? It was Denise, but her voice wasn't sweet anymore. Wasn't fake friendly. It was hard, cold. You've been a very bad girl, filing police reports, getting lawyers involved. That's not how family treats family. You tried to steal from me. We tried to take what we're owed. You have all that money sitting there, money you don't need, money that could help your brother finish school, but you're too selfish to share. You broke into my bank account. Prove it. She laughed. Actually laughed. You gave me your key, welcomed me into your home. Let me use your computer. How's it gonna look when I tell everyone you changed your mind about helping family and made up some crazy story to get out of it? I have evidence. The spyware. The hacked emails. You have a flash drive you claim to have found. Could have put anything on it yourself. Your word against mine, baby girl. And I'm your mama. People believe mamas. The line went dead. I sat there, phone in my hand, heart pounding. She wasn't scared. Wasn't worried. She thought she could get away with it. I called Vincent immediately, told him about the attempted wire transfer, about Denise's phone call. Record everything, he said. If she calls again, record it. If she texts, screenshot it. If she shows up, call 911 immediately. Don't engage. Don't argue. Just document. She said people will believe her over me. Let me worry about that. We have evidence. Real evidence. Computer forensics will prove that spyware was installed from an external source. Bank records will show the unauthorized access. The police are already investigating. She's bluffing, Naomi. She's scared and she's trying to scare you back. I wanted to believe him, but Denise had sounded so confident, so sure of herself. That night, I couldn't sleep again. Kept checking my doors, my windows, making sure they were locked, making sure nobody was trying to get in. At 2 a.m, my phone buzzed. Text message from a number I didn't recognize. A photo of my father's house, taken from the street, recent. I could see his car in the driveway, the lights on inside. Then another text. Nice house. Would be a shame if something happened to it. My blood went cold. They weren't just coming after me anymore. They were threatening my father. I called 911. Police came, took the report, increased patrols around my father's neighborhood. I called Daddy. Told him to stay inside, lock everything, don't answer the door. I'm not hiding from that woman, he said. Daddy, please. Just until the restraining order goes through, just until the police can arrest them. He finally agreed, but I could hear the anger in his voice, the helplessness. Vincent called early the next morning. The restraining order was approved. Emergency protection. They're not allowed within 500 feet of you or your father. If they violate it, they'll be arrested immediately. How do we serve it? Police will handle it. They're looking for them now. But Denise and Malik were already gone. The apartment they'd been staying at was empty, cleared out. The landlord said they'd paid cash for a week and left 2 days early. No forwarding address. They'd run, taken off before the police could find them. But they weren't done, not by a long shot, because that afternoon my phone exploded with notifications. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, email. Someone had created fake social media accounts using my name, my photos, posting things I never said, claiming I'd cheated people, stolen from family, abandoned my sick mother. They were trying to destroy my reputation, my career, everything I'd built, and they were doing it from somewhere I couldn't find them. Rochelle called. Girl, I'm seeing posts about you everywhere. What's happening? They're trying to ruin me. It's working. People are believing it, commenting, sharing. This is going viral. I hung up, opened my laptop, started reporting every fake account, every false post. But for every one I reported, 2 more appeared. They were coordinating this, planning it. And they weren't stopping. My phone rang. Veronica from work, my mentor, my colleague. Naomi, HR wants to talk to you. There are accusations online. They need to investigate. My job. They were coming after my job now. Veronica, none of it is true. It's my estranged mother. I believe you. But you need to document everything. Prove it's fake. Or this could get really bad, really fast. I looked at my computer screen, at the dozens of fake accounts, the hundreds of false posts, the thousands of people who believed them. And I realized something that made my blood run ice cold. This wasn't just about money anymore. This was about destroying my entire life, and they weren't going to stop until they'd taken everything. I sat in HR the next morning while my boss pulled up screenshot after screenshot of fake posts. My hands were clenched in my lap so tight my knuckles had gone white. Each image felt like a knife, my face, my name, words I'd never spoken. "Naomi, we need to understand what's happening here," my boss said. Her voice was kind but firm. "These accusations are serious. Fraud, theft, elder abuse. None of it is real. My estranged mother is running a smear campaign because I won't give her money." She looked at me. Really looked at me. "Can you prove that?" "Yes, I have police reports, a restraining order, evidence of computer fraud. My lawyer has everything. Get me copies, today, because right now, this looks really bad." I walked out of that office feeling like the walls were closing in. 20 years of building my career, my reputation, my life. And Denise was tearing it down with lies. But she'd made one critical mistake. She'd forgotten what I do for a living. I'm a data analyst. I find patterns. I trace digital footprints. I follow the evidence wherever it leads. And I was about to follow it straight to her. I called Vincent from my car. "I need you to file something else. I'm going to track them digitally. Every post, every account, every lie. And when I find them, I want them arrested for harassment, fraud, and defamation. Naomi, be careful. Don't do anything that could... I'm not breaking any laws. I'm just using the same public information anyone can access. Social media is my specialty. They just picked a fight with the wrong person." I went home, set up my laptop, started working. Every fake account leaves traces. IP addresses, login patterns, photo metadata, connection networks. Most people don't know how to hide these things. They think deleting cookies or using a VPN is enough. It's not. I started with the first fake account, traced the IP address, matched it to a location, a motel 30 miles outside the city. Budget place, cash only, perfect for people running from the law. But that wasn't all I found. When I dug deeper into the account creation patterns, something strange appeared. This wasn't the first time these accounts had been used for harassment. They'd done this before. Different names, different victims, same pattern. My stomach dropped. How many people had they done this to? How many lives had they tried to ruin? I kept digging. Found 3 other cases over the past 5 years, different cities, different victims, all wealthy, all with estranged family members, all targeted the same way. This was their con, their business model. Reconnect with estranged family, demand money. If refused, destroy their reputation until they paid to make it stop. I was just their latest mark. But I had something their other victims didn't. I had the skills to prove it, and I had evidence they'd left behind. I compiled everything, every IP address, every fake account, every connection to their previous victims. Then I sent it all to Detective Harris and Vincent. Vincent called me back within an hour. "This is incredible work. This proves conspiracy, pattern of behavior. We can use this." "Can you find them?" "With these locations? Yes. Police are moving now." But what happened next I didn't expect. Nobody expected. My phone rang. Unknown number again. I almost didn't answer, but I hit record first, like Vincent told me. "Naomi." It was Malik, not Denise, and his voice was shaking. "We need to talk, just us." "I'm recording this." "I know, that's okay. I need you to know something. About my mom. About all of this. I waited, heart pounding. She's done this before. To other people. I didn't know at first. I thought we were really reconnecting with family. But then I saw the files, the other names, the other families. Why are you telling me this? Because I'm 20 years old and I'm about to go to prison for my mom's con game. His voice cracked. She told me you abandoned us, that you were rich and selfish and owed us. I believed her. But then I found her notes, her plans. This was all calculated from the beginning. Where are you? Motel on Highway 40. But she's gone. Left this morning. Took everything. Left me here to deal with the police alone. The line went dead. I called Detective Harris. Gave her the location. She was there in 30 minutes. They found Malik, arrested him. But Denise was gone. Vanished. Again. 2 days passed. The fake accounts were getting taken down. My lawyer sent cease and desist letters to anyone sharing the false posts. My company put out a statement supporting me after reviewing the evidence. But Denise was still out there. Still free. Then Rochelle called. Turn on the news. Channel 7, now. I turned on the TV. Local news. And there she was. Denise. Being led out of a bus station in handcuffs. The woman, identified as Denise Taylor, was attempting to flee to Mexico when she was apprehended by police. She's wanted for multiple counts of fraud, identity theft, and cybercrime across 3 states. 3 states. They'd been doing this in 3 states. My phone rang. Vincent. It's over. They got her, and with Malik's testimony, she's looking at serious prison time. Relief flooded through me. It was over. Finally over. But it wasn't. Not really. Because that night my father had another heart attack. I sat in the hospital waiting room, Rochelle on one side, Veronica on the other, waiting for the doctor, praying. When the doctor finally came out, his face was serious. He's stable, but the stress of the past few weeks, his heart couldn't take it. He needs rest. No stress. Complete recovery time. I went into his room. He was awake, pale, tubes and wires everywhere, but alive. Hey, baby girl, he said weakly. Daddy. I took his hand. I'm so sorry. This is all my fault. No. His grip tightened. This is all her fault. Denise did this, not you. You were just trying to give her a chance. That's not wrong. That's who you are. Kind, hopeful. That's my girl. She almost killed you. But she didn't. And she's going to prison. And we're going to be fine. But we weren't fine, not completely. The stress had damaged his heart. He'd need months of recovery, maybe surgery. His whole life had been turned upside down because I'd let Denise back in. The guilt sat heavy on my chest, crushing, suffocating. 3 weeks later, I sat in Vincent's office again. Final meeting. Wrapping everything up. Denise pled guilty to avoid trial, he said. 15 years. Malik got a deal for testifying against her. 5 years. Eligible for parole in 3. What about the money? The attempted theft? Bank reversed everything, no financial loss. And several of her previous victims are filing civil suits. She'll be paying restitution for the rest of her life. And my father? Vincent's face softened. I'm sorry, Naomi. That's something else entirely. The stress, the heart attack, that's real damage that can't be undone. I nodded, felt tears burning behind my eyes. I keep thinking, if I'd just said no from the beginning, if I'd never let her back in. You can't think like that. You tried to have a relationship with your mother. That's human, natural. You're not responsible for her choices. But I felt responsible. Every time I visited my father in his recovery, every time I saw him struggle to walk across the room, every time he took his heart medication with shaking hands, Denise had stolen more than money. She'd stolen my father's health, my peace of mind, my ability to trust. And that's when I made my decision. I couldn't change what happened, couldn't undo the damage, but I could make sure something good came from this nightmare. I set up a scholarship fund for children raised by single parents, kids who'd beaten the odds, who'd built something from nothing, who understood what it meant to have one parent who loved them more than anything. The Raymond Williams Scholarship Fund, named after the man who'd actually raised me, who'd actually been there, who'd actually loved me. At the first award ceremony, I stood at the podium, looked out at 15 kids who'd won scholarships. 15 kids who reminded me of myself at 17. Scared, hopeful, determined. My father used to tell me something, I said. He said that blood doesn't make you family. Showing up does. Being there when it matters does. Choosing someone, every single day, that's what makes you family. I saw my father in the front row, still recovering, still weak, but smiling. So proud. Some of you have been abandoned by parents. Some of you have lost parents. Some of you have parents who tried but couldn't stay. That's not your fault, and it doesn't define your worth. What defines you is what you build, who you become, the people you choose to keep close, the family you create for yourself. After the ceremony, a young girl approached me, maybe 17. Looked just like I did at that age, scared but trying to be brave. Ms. Williams, I just wanted to say thank you. My mom left when I was little. My dad raised me alone. This scholarship, it's going to change my life. I hugged her, held her tight. You're going to do amazing things. I know it. She pulled back, smiled. Did you ever forgive your mom? For leaving? The question hit me hard. I thought about Denise. In prison. Probably still thinking she was the victim. Still believing she was owed something. No, I said honestly. I didn't forgive her, and that's okay. Forgiveness isn't required. What's required is that you move forward. That you don't let their choices poison your future. But doesn't it hurt? Not forgiving? Sometimes. But you know what hurts more? Letting someone who hurt you convince you that you owe them anything. Your life, your success, your peace. That's yours. Nobody gets to take that from you. She nodded, smiled again, walked away a little taller. Rochelle came up beside me. You okay? Yeah, I think I am. Your dad looks good. He's getting there. Slowly. And you? Are you getting there? I thought about it. Really thought about it. The betrayal, the fear, the guilt, the anger. All of it still there, still raw, but different now. Manageable. I don't think I'll ever completely get over it, I said. What she did, what she tried to take, what she cost us. But I'm not letting her win. I'm not letting her steal my future like she tried to steal my past. My phone buzzed. Text from Veronica. A photo. My face on a magazine cover. Top 50 data analysts under 45. The smear campaign hadn't worked. My reputation had survived. Maybe even grown stronger because people saw me fight back. Saw me refuse to be a victim. But what I'd realized was this. Victory isn't always clean. Justice doesn't erase damage. And sometimes the people who hurt us the most never understand what they've done. Denise would serve her time, get out eventually. Probably run the same con on someone else, because people like her don't change. They just find new targets. But I'd changed. I'd learned who I could trust, who actually deserved a place in my life. And I'd learned that sometimes the family you're born with isn't the family you keep. The family you keep is the one that shows up, that stays, that chooses you back. My father, Rochelle, Veronica, Vincent, the people who'd stood by me when everything fell apart. That was my family, the one I'd built, the one I'd chosen, the one that actually mattered. And nobody could take that away from me. Not Denise, not Malik, not anyone. I drove my father home that night, helped him up the steps to his house, the house where he'd raised me, where he'd sacrificed everything to give me a chance. "You okay, baby girl?" he asked. "Yeah, Daddy, I am." "Good. Because I'm proud of you. How you handled this, how you fought back, how you turned something ugly into something beautiful with that scholarship fund. I learned from the best." He smiled, squeezed my hand. "That you did." I left him there, drove home, walked into my apartment, the one I'd had to have professionally cleaned after Denise and Malik had gone through it, the one I'd had to change all the locks on, the one that finally felt safe again. I sat down at my desk, opened my laptop, started working on applications for next year's scholarship fund. Already had 50 applicants, kids who needed help, who deserved a chance, who reminded me why I'd survived this nightmare. To help them, to pay forward what my father had given me, to prove that no matter how hard someone tries to tear you down, you can build yourself back up. Stronger, wiser, better. My phone buzzed one last time. Unknown number. For a second, my heart jumped. Then I saw the message. From Malik. From prison. "I'm sorry. For everything. You deserved better. We both did." I stared at it for a long time. Then I deleted it. Blocked the number. Because sorry doesn't fix broken hearts. Sorry doesn't undo damage. Sorry is just a word people use when they finally face consequences. And I was done giving people chances they hadn't earned. I closed my laptop, looked around my apartment, my sanctuary, my achievement, everything I'd built with my own hands, my own mind, my own determination. Denise had tried to take it all, and she'd failed, because you can't steal what someone's built from nothing. You can't destroy what someone's fought for every single day. You can't break what someone's already survived breaking once before. I'd survived my mother leaving when I was 17. I'd survived this too. And I'd do more than survive. I'd thrive. I'd build. I'd help others build too. That was my revenge. Not destroying her, not making her suffer, but succeeding anyway. Living well anyway. Being happy anyway. Despite everything she'd tried to take from me, I still had what mattered most. My father, my friends, my integrity, my future. And that was something she'd never understand, never have, never steal. Thanks for listening to this story. If it touched your heart, please leave a like and subscribe. Have you experienced something similar? Share your story in the comments below.